Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lawrence Report. And on tonight's broadcast, we're discussing episode 4 of Summerhousemarthasvineyard. And let me just say, this episode right here was absolutely chaotic. It was bomb after bomb after bomb that was being dropped on all of the castmates. I mean, it was just absolute chaos in this episode. I'm hoping that I'm not wrong in saying this right here, but I was a little bit annoyed with Jordan this episode. But then again, at the same time, I get why I was so annoyed. I feel like the emphasis of this episode was basically about Jordan, right? And she goes into great detail. She talks about her losing her hair, which you already know, but she also mentions that, she had to inherit her grandparents, and she had to basically, she lost a lot of life, and she's chasing time, trying to get some of that back. And I just hope that Jordan is definitely going to a therapist to talk about some of these issues that she's having when it comes to her, trying to, get back some of the time that she lost from taking care of loved ones, right? I hope that, she's able to talk to somebody about the issues that she is facing when it comes to her hair as well. So thoughts and prayers goes out to Jordan. But like I said, I was slightly annoyed a little bit this episode with her. I hope y'all don't judge me for that. I'm still not even for sure if I understand the entire argument that Summer and Jordan was having. We know that they quickly pick off from right from where they left off, whenever they was in the car and they was screaming and going at it with each other. And Jordan felt that a private moment shouldn't have been shared about her alopecia, and Summer's like, listen, I be holding you at night. And I'm just like, we been knew about the alopecia stuff. Like, this ain't nothing new to the cast, to the people that watch the show. We've been new. But I think she even goes in greater detail talking about Jordan. She talks about how the alopecia has been affecting her, her mental well-being, just who she is as a woman, how it's hard as a Black woman not having a crown, because we know that the crown for the Black woman is, the hair. They love the hair, and rightfully so, and I completely understand that. But I felt like I'm just not exactly grasping what is going on between them two, when it comes to so-called shared moments. And I guess Summer's like, well, I'm always there for you, but I don't know if you're always here for me. So that's the only takeaway that I can think of when it comes to this whole fight, this little cat fight that they was having on this episode. And, the castmates, they actually, I'm glad they did this rare. They actually did need church. We know there was only 4 of them that only went to church. I believe it was Alex, Nick, and 2 more of the ladies, Summer, and I forgot the other person, but it was 4 of them that went to church. And they needed church, but I felt like when I was looking at the church, it seemed to be empty. I didn't get a good vibe from the way they shot that scene right there, from the church. But we could easily tell that Summer, maybe she's never been to church, because she asked them, how long is church? I'm like, well, church really has no set timetable, right? It could be an hour, it could go up to 3 hours, right? But after that whole drunken night, they definitely needed some type of church, I believe. While this argument is going on between Jordan and Summer, did y'all see the way Nick and Shanice was eating up those chips? They had me dying. They didn't care about the argument. They were just grubbing out on those chips right there. But, after that, we end up seeing them eventually, the cast, end up going to the beach, and they playing, I think it was a card game, like a hood card game. And I thought that was dope, that it showed a little bit of Inkwell. We've seen that before. Shout out to everybody in Marthasvineyard, part of Inkwell community. So that was dope to see right there. And as you get back to the house, I was glad to see Jordan and Summer sit down and try to hash it out and talk about, what's going on. And, Jordan's like, well, I didn't expect that out of you. And, I didn't expect you to share those type of private moments. And I think Jordan has to understand that there's certain friends that we can confide in. And I'm glad Jordan and Summer was actually able to just hash things out, after the beach games that everybody was doing and they was playing, that those two ladies can come together. And I think Jordan is realizing that every friend you cannot necessarily confide in, because sometimes they will accidentally slip things out, or they may end up judging you in a harsh way. And I don't feel like Summer, really stepped over the line, but for Jordan, it definitely affected her. And I think she realized that, yeah, I can't tell you everything, but my trust with you has been broken, but maybe over time it can be repaired, and we'll just have to see. Really can't believe, as far as Noelle and Alex, right? Let's get into that. I really can't believe Noelle was up here crying over Alex, talking about she felt embarrassed, after she basically came out to him at that club. They were sitting down at the table and she expressed that she had feelings for him. I just couldn't believe that she was breaking down crying over him. That just caught me by surprise. But then again, I understood why. It's because she revealed that she had some daddy abandonment issues. I think her father walked out on her mother, extremely, really, like, very, very young. And since then, it's been hard for her to find love. She's been finding love and searching for love in the wrong places. And she still wants to, I believe, wants to try to find that bridge between her and her dad, but she is looking for love in the wrong places. And I think that's why the whole Alex ordeal kind of hurt her. She even said that she felt embarrassed by that. But I hate that right there. I hate it for any woman who's ever had to deal with any type of daddy issues, because that can, affect a woman very, very much so, in a lot of many, many different ways. So again, my heart goes out to Noelle. Hopefully her and Alex will be able to have a better one-on-one type conversation. But at the same time, like, Noelle, you can't force somebody to like you if they're not feeling you like that. I've always said Alex, he's here for a good time. He's not necessarily here for a relationship. And I can tell that she is a relationship type woman, which is cool. But for Alex, he's not looking for that. So I hope that Noelle realizes that sooner than later. And also I hope that, she realizes that she continues to love herself, as a woman, that the right man is going to come along for her. Switching gears, let's get into Briechella Summer Jamboree. That thing looked fire. I wish I would have had an invite. That is a dope idea. She absolutely killed it with what she had going on with that. And as we continue to move on, we see the cast, they're going out to dinner. And, Alex, I think he mentioned before in this episode, is everything good with Jordan. And Jordan does come out and eventually say that I have not been myself. There is some issues that's bubbling up inside of me. And it's some things that I need to share with y'all. That like, this alopecia is absolutely hurting me right now. I had to take care of my grandparents growing up. I lost time. I am not me, and I'm not okay. She's basically not okay mentally, right? And Alex said, well, I kind of miss your voice. Your voice is always, a very powerful voice at the table. He said something about, this is the first time, that I feel like I got a chance to know you. I appreciate you talking about this right here. And that's when Jordan's like, nah, you really had me, messed up whenever you came for my girl, Shanice. And when it came to Alex apparently Googling Shanice's history when it comes to her nudes leaking, the situation with her boyfriend, and we see Shanice absolutely break down in tears. And that is when all hell breaks loose at the table. Everybody turned on Alex in a heartbeat. Because again, he was just trying to check on Jordan and make sure that she was okay. But she was like, nah, I'm okay. But you really had me messed up whenever you talked about my homegirl. I was like, oh my God. Like, dang. I was like, I hate it for Alex right there, because he was just trying to check in. But everything flipped. And Shanice was like, y'all don't know what it's like. I'm going through this whole debate with the lawyers and all this stuff right here. And this stuff right here has been just absolutely tragic. And Alex is accused, you know, of Googling, and then he brings Nick into the fold, and Nick was like, yo, I didn't want to get involved into it. And it is a complete mess. And then we see Bria and Jasmine. They are going at it. I mean, since we're at this table, getting everything off our chest, let's get some more drama off, right? Bria admits to Jasmine and the rest of the team that she is not comfortable with Mariah coming. So it's obvious that they don't want Mariah or Phil being near any of the cast. Like, nobody in the cast is basically fooling around with either one of those two. And you know, the one thing about Bria, she's always going to attempt to walk away. We've seen that the last couple episodes. She is going to walk away. And Jasmine is hurt, crying like a baby over the situation, because she's like, yo, Mariah's my girl, but y'all talking about it's make y'all mentally unstable. You got to take care of your mental peace. So it is a complete cluster of what is happening on this episode. That dinner table scene, it was just, everything was completely unleashed. So we'll just have to see what happens on the next episode of Summerhousemarthasvineyard. More drama, more tea on the way. And as always, thank you for tuning into the Lawrence Report.